part 2 of this little video rant, basically authored by David Michael Green. So if you haven't heard the first part, go to that, and if it doesn't interest you, that's okay too. Got an economy that is so raw it's leaving thousands in literal peril of losing their lives. Why not draft some legislation to bail out the people who created this mess and guarantee that they retain their multi-million-dollar bonuses? You know, the same folks who are always talking about how great capitalism is and how important it is to take risks. The same ones who are willing to tell us just how awful the entire government is, the same government that saved them from extinction. That's right, you know, bail out those with outrageous bonuses, the very people who need it least, who cause billions of people around the planet to suffer, while leaving everybody else to fend for themselves. That'll raise your presidential approval rating every time. And while you're at it, bring in the much beloved health insurance and pharmaceutical lobbyists and negotiate a deal with them to craft your high-profile health care legislation. What voter cannot get behind that? While you're at it, if you're trying to run the most failed presidency ever, a really good idea is to campaign in the grandest terms possible and then deliver squat. You know, talk about bending the arc of history. Invoke Martin Luther King's dream and his struggles, and even of his slaves. Ring the big bells of generational callings. Remind voters every 30 seconds that the country badly needs change. Then get elected and turn around and continue the policies of your hated predecessors in every meaningful policy arena. Only with less conviction. People will just love that. But you can do better still. Help your enemies so that they can crush you more effectively. Start by not even realizing that they're your enemies. Then treat them with greater respect than your friends, even though they've run the country over the cliff. Defer to them at every opportunity. Consult with them even as they insult you into your face. Allow them to run Congress even though they have small minorities in both houses. Never force them to vote against simple, popular legislation. Never call their bluffs. Never associate them with the destruction that they have caused. Never label them as the hypocritical liars that they are. Help them to resuscitate the comatose near corpse of their political party just before it's about to die, so it can rise up and savage you. And finally, perhaps the most important thing is to adopt really, really pathetic policies of your own. All of this represents the best prescription I can imagine for wrecking a presidency, and Obama has followed it with exacting precision. It's almost as if he were a Republican sleeper politician in some party politics version of the Manchurian Candidate, planted to arise on cue and destroy the Democratic Party from within. And thus, while anything is possible, of course, I'm hard-pressed to see how the Obama administration is anything but finished. Consider his options from here. And by the way, I will post a link to this entire article, which is worth reading. You may not agree with some of what David Green has to say, but it's definitely worth a read. On to part 3. Sorry, told you, I'm on a roll.